Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spotlight in Business by GTApreneurs. I'm your host, Tammy Defoe, founder, business coach, and public speaking instructor for GTApreneurs. I'm so excited to present to you today Tina Collura, award-winning entrepreneur and productivity coach, and she will be the guest speaker for GTApreneurs Tuesday, February 23rd, 7 p.m. networking event. So let me introduce you to Tina. Can you please tell us about yourself, Tina?
Hi, Tammy. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm super excited to be working with you. So a little bit more about me. I basically help people, I help entrepreneurs maximize on their business and their lives so that they can focus on their three Ps. So their productivity, their purpose, and their profitability. I help them by using all the tips and tricks that I've gained over the years through change management, leadership, project management, and of course, coaching to help them get results in less than 30 days.
That's awesome, Tina. And what made you get into this profession?
Well, I've been coaching since 2005, Tammy. I started the business in 2009, and I've taken it on so many different paths. But originally, the reason I started this coaching business was to help people achieve their goals. I found it's so rewarding to help people identify that they could do so much more with who they are and what they have, and holding that space for people to really understand that they have it within them to do more and be more. I think that that's so rewarding.
Yeah, and I think with some people, like they just figure this is how life is. And they go in, day in, day out, right on automatic mode. Right. But it doesn't have to be like that. So what are some examples of goals you've helped your clients to achieve?
So just in the last 6 months, Tammy, during the pandemic, I helped three of my clients launch online businesses. I helped an artistic entrepreneur triple her business in less than 2 months. One gentleman that I helped him get clear on his messaging, and I helped him get refocused on who he was really trying to help and what he was really trying to do for these clients. And in doing that type of work, he actually he achieved his goals, his monthly goals in 15 days after working with me. So
Wow,
pretty impressive. Yeah.
exactly. And what do you mean by messaging? Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So Tammy, in this business, especially when doing networking events, we have to be crystal clear on what it is that we are telling people about what it is that we do. I say to my clients, if you can tell a 10-year-old what you do and they can repeat it to another 10-year-old, then you are good. You are crystal clear because that's what you want. You want people to understand what you do, how you help people, and what's in it for them, right? So if you can master those three key messages, then you're pretty good. You're in a good spot for doing business.
That's awesome, right? And it's just like you said with the guy that you were helping, that it's about defining who he helps. So I've heard many entrepreneurs say that, oh, I help everybody, right? But the success rate with that philosophy is very small, you know? So
Yeah, absolutely. Tammy, you know what? We would love it would be amazing if we could help everyone. But when you're targeting everyone, then you're really helping no one because you have to be clear on who your avatar is or who your ideal client is. Because then that's when you can get laser focused. And that's when I believe that the universe starts bringing you exactly who you want, when you want, and how you want them.
yeah, and being a productivity coach, how would you explain that to people?
So I basically say to my clients, you give me an hour and I will find you 20. Because I, the excuses that people come up with when they say, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that, I don't have time to exercise, I don't have time to focus on my business. It's all about mastering the time that we've been given, really. So, where are you wasting your time is the question I ask people because as you know, Tammy, pre COVID, I was commuting 4 hours a day. And that was time that I will never get back. right? And I always say time not used intentionally is time you will never get back. So after dinner, what are you doing with your time? Right? Are you spending time with your children? Are you spending time exercising? Could you spend an hour on your business, or could you spend an hour doing what it is you're passionate about? Absolutely. Right? I helped one single mother gain 37 and a half hours so that she could go back to school and get her degree in social work. And she was over the moon excited about it.
That's amazing, right? And I know for yourself, you've got so many things on the go, right? And you've got all these speaking engagements coming up. So I think that the fact that you're doing it yourself, makes you a good role model for these people that you're helping.
Absolutely. So Tammy, my tagline is I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm a boss at everything that I do. And again, we've been given this gift of time with this pandemic. So I'd be stupid not to use this time wisely. And that's why I encourage my clients to do the same. It's amazing. Like the first thing people ask me is, when do you sleep? Well, I'm very structured with the time that I wake up and with the time I go to bed. But it's what I'm doing in between that makes me so productive and that makes me so happy doing what I love. And I want that for others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you made a good point, right? It's about carving out that time, to get those things, you want to do, right? And I guess the thing, if you don't actually write it down, say in a day planner and block this time, then it never happens. It's always like, oh, yeah, I'll do it next month and next month, whatever, and next year. And then you know what? The year never comes. Right.
Yeah.
And how many people you work with who they make New Year's resolutions and they don't keep them?
Oh my God, Tammy, I think the statistic is 80% of people who make New Year's resolutions usually fall through the cracks by January 15. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, so talk about like, where are your priorities? If you're not making yourself a priority, then who is? Right? Are we all going to wait for that moment where the doctor says you have to start exercising, or when your boss says you have to get this done? Like, why are we always waiting for that sense of urgency to happen when you've already reached a level of turmoil? Right? So if we all just start analyzing the areas of our life where we need a little bit more attention. I do this balancing exercise, Tammy, with my clients. I call it the circle of life. So I ask them to do an assessment on themselves, rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. How are you emotionally, mentally, physically, emotionally? And the areas where you score the lowest on, those are usually the areas you want to give your attention and set 1 to 3 goals, right? Whether it be quarterly or monthly or even for the year. Just you got one life. So it's so important that you take care of it.
Yeah. I think, the key for some people, right, is that if they have that pattern, for years, that they set goals, they're not reaching their goals, that they need someone like you, right? A productivity coach who can help them reach their goals, right? Like a lot of people know that I was a personal trainer for 13 years. And let me tell you, people get, like 3 times better results, or twice, I forget what we would say, 3 times faster, whatever, than working on your own. Same idea, right? People who set these goals and they don't achieve them, or maybe it takes them the whole year to achieve them when they could achieve them less. But if they have a coach like yourself who's going to be taking their hand and getting them to what they want, then I think that might be the good solution for people.
Yeah, and you know what, Tammy, you said it well. Like we sometimes, we're not really good at holding ourselves accountable. And so, I mean, that's athletes, that's executives, that's business owners. And sometimes we just need someone to lay out the plan for us and meet with us once a week. And you know what? Talk about what worked, what didn't work, and what can we do better. Right. And that's what I do as a coach. That's what I do. I work with my clients. I use my project management background, and we basically lay out what are the different areas and what is necessary to happen week after week in order for you to achieve that goal. And once I started working with a coach, wow, like my income tripled in the first 6 months. Why? Because now I'm being held accountable. I'm putting money, I'm investing money in myself to make sure that I am getting to that next level. And that's what we need to do in our lives. We need to invest in ourselves, not just with our own time, but with our money, on what's valuable and what's important to you in order to succeed, right?
Yeah, you made a really good point in terms of like you can have Olympic athletes who are at the top of the world, but you know what? They have coaches, right? CEOs have coaches. So a lot of people think, well, I don't really need a coach, but a lot of times people reach these high levels because they have their own coach.
Yep. And I could speak from experience, Tammy. The times that I have had a coach in my life, I was being held accountable, right? So if I knew that I had a meeting coming up on Wednesday and I hadn't done my homework, oh my goodness, am I ever going to hurry up and get that homework done? So that's what I do to my clients. I'll send them like a private message saying, hey, just checking in. And it lights a fire under their butt. Say, oh my God, she's going to ask me if I did this, this, and this. And again, like it's a mental thing, right? Being held accountable, we can't just do it for ourselves. Some people just need that extra level of accountability. And then not only is it just accountability, but it's an extra level of expertise, right? It's like, think of the boxing ring. I'm that coach that's like pumping you up and getting you going, and observing from the outside on what you could be doing better, right?
Yeah. And, like as entrepreneurs, we are the masters of our own destiny, right? Basically, right? We don't normally have a boss who's telling us what to do. So when it's just us steering the ship, then, sometimes we do need someone else to come in, right? And be that third person and observe, right?
Yeah.
And so, I think it's great that you're offering the service.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, Tammy. We've all traveled different paths, right? You've been trained a certain way, I've been trained a certain way, and we all have something amazing to offer, right? So to turn away someone who has been where I want to be, I'd be foolish not to go on that path and want to strive and want to achieve more. And if I know that that coach has done it before me, why wouldn't I want to embark on that journey? Right? That person has been where I am and they've worked through all the kinks, right? And so that's what coaches do. We help you to get there faster so that it doesn't take you 12 years. It'll take you maybe one or two to get to that level of success. Right?
Yeah, that's amazing. If you think about the investment they would make, and then if they're like achieving in like 1 and 2 years what normally would take them 12 years, and you get to the income level, but now for the next 12 years they're going to make the high income level, like that's huge, like the return on your investment.
Exactly, right? So when you break it down, like for people who want to, let's say, make 50,000 in their first year, all they have to do is make 4,000 a month, right? So how many clients would that be? Right? And again, depending on what avenue people want to go in, it could be one-on-one coaching. I can help them with group coaching. I could help them with 8 week or 6 week or 7 week program. The sky's the limit, right? So what you need to do is you need to identify, and this is what I can help people do, is tap into their natural born talents so that they can take their hobby and make it into an amazing business. And that's essentially what I've done. And I think that's what you've done as well, right?
Oh yeah, and you know what, that's the dream, right? That people want. If you love what you're doing, it's not a job. And exactly, like that's why I created GTApreneurs, is that I love helping people, teaching, coaching, training. I've got expertise in several different industries, right? And I am so excited to see what you have for us tomorrow night at our networking event, Tina. So you know what? She tells us everything she's great at doing, but she's going to give us some free tips and everything, right? That can help us tomorrow to just get us started. And then everyone's going to have the opportunity to meet with Tina one-on-one. So excited for that, Tina. So thanks so much for coming today. And look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. And if you have not registered yet for our event, please go to GTApreneurs.com and look for that networking events Toronto tab and get your ticket. Okay. And you have a lovely rest of your day, Tina, and we will see you tomorrow night.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tammy. And I can't wait to be given the opportunity to speak to everyone tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye.
You're very welcome.